Well, here we go again, folks, back in the glorious mess that is modern Britain, where common sense has been sent to the gulag and the lunatics are running the asylum, quite literally it seems, in Ballymena, Northern Ireland. If you haven't heard, this little town's been turned into a tinderbox. And the spark, the government's brilliant asylum dispersal policy, which, according to some, has pushed locals to the absolute breaking point. And now we're told this genius plan could ignite unrest across the entire UK. So let's set the scene, shall we? Ballymena streets are on fire, figuratively and in some cases quite literally. Homes burned, cars torched, shops smashed, and police officers dodging bricks, petrol bombs and fireworks like it's the apocalypse. 17 officers injured one night, 32 the next, and that's just the official tally. The locals are out in force, 100 strong, and they're not exactly chanting for peace and love. Why? Because the government's been playing social engineering with their town, dumping asylum seekers into close-knit communities without so much as a how do you do. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to cheer on the mob. Burning down your neighbour's house because you're angry is the kind of logic that belongs in a caveman's diary. But let's not pretend this came out of nowhere. The government, in its infinite wisdom, decided that the best way to handle asylum seekers is to scatter them across working-class towns like Ballymena, cramming them into private rentals and social housing. Never mind that these are tight-knit communities where everyone knows everyone and trust is hard-earned. Never mind that rents are skyrocketing, housing's disappearing, and public services are creaking under the strain. No. And the mandarins in Westminster thought, let's just plonk hundreds of newcomers into the middle of it all and see what happens. Well, congratulations, geniuses. You've got your answer. It's called chaos. Posts on X are screaming about it. Ordinary folks saying their neighbourhoods are being blighted by this policy with asylum seekers bust in. Some say from across the border and dropped into houses, not hotels. And before you start clutching your pearls and shouting a racist, let's be clear. This isn't just about skin colour or accents. It's about a government treating communities like lab rats in a half-baked experiment. When you overload a town's resources, jack up rents and sideline the locals, don't be shocked when they're not exactly baking welcome cakes. And here's the major thing. This isn't just Ballymena's problem. This could easily spread across the UK. If you think people in other towns are going to sit quietly while their communities are turned upside down, you're living in a fantasy land. The government's playing with fire here, and they're not the ones who'll get burned. It's the ordinary people, locals and migrants alike, stuck in the middle of this mess because when trust breaks down, when people feel ignored, you get what we're seeing now, riots, violence, and a town tearing itself apart. As for the police, they're out there taking a hammering, firing baton rounds, rolling out water cannons and begging for backup from across the UK, but let's not kid ourselves. They're not the real target. The real target is a government that's lost the plot, treating communities like pawns in a game of political chess. And the media, well, they're busy slapping labels like racist thuggery on everything that moves, as if that explains it all. Sure, some of the rioters are just yobs looking for a fight, but dismissing the whole thing as bigotry is lazy and dishonest. People are angry because they're being ignored, not because they've all joined the KKK. So what's the solution? Well, for starters, how about the government stops treating towns like Ballymena as dumping grounds for policies they haven't thought through? Maybe listen to the locals before they turn their lives upside down. Maybe invest in services so communities and stretch to breaking point, and maybe, just maybe, have a proper debate about immigration instead of pretending everything's fine while the streets burn. But no, that's too sensible, isn't it? Instead, we'll get more hand-wringing, more name-calling, and more policies that sound good in a Whitehall meeting but fall apart in the real world. Ballymena's a warning, folks. Ignore it and you'll see more towns go up in flames. Maybe yours next. And that's that. I'm past 49. I am done. I'm off to scream into a pillow and wonder when Britain decided governing was optional. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave your tuppence in the comments. I want to know what you think about all this. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe. For heaven's sake, what's keeping you? And I'll see you at the next video. Roger Trout.